Hi guys, welcome back to the BMW blog channel. Today we're diving into the second generation of BMW's largest SUV, the X7. Internally codenamed G67, the flagship SUV promises to blend luxury, technology, and power enough to battle its German rivals. In this video, we'll look at what early prototypes revealed from the spy shots, what's changing in terms of design and technology, and why BMW is deciding to stick towards its combustion roots even as it prepares for an electric future. So grab a coffee because there's quite a lot to unpack in this one. At first glance, the prototypes of the next-gen X7 don't give too much away, but they do reveal quite a few interesting details. The version seen here testing is more than likely the M Performance variant, and you'll see in a bit why. This one is rumored to be called the X7 M70 xDrive. So let's start with what's going on with the front design. The headlights here look like a more compact and squarish reinterpretation of the split light setup that was introduced with the 2022 facelift, which mirrored its sedan sibling, the 7 Series. But they're clearly temporary units for now. The daytime running lights, which double as turn signals, as you can see here, sit unusually low on the bumper. We're convinced that BMW might be hiding an upper light strip right beneath the camouflage in this area. Mounting all the lighting this low would obviously look odd in such a tall SUV, so expect a more balanced final arrangement once we see the upper DRLs. As for the kidney grille, it's very much present and bold, but seemingly better proportioned this time, with its more squarish edges and defined looks. It doesn't dominate the front in such a dramatic way horizontally, neither vertically. So that's a good sign. I think it'll definitely draw a clear distinction with the upcoming Neue Klasse models that will be sold alongside. Now, looking at the side, proportions appear a bit larger than before. As we can see here, the rear quarter glass seems longer and sleeker towards the Hofmeister King. This extension here could hint at a bit more of legroom and overall more spacious third row. And here's a cool detail. If you're wondering where are the door handles, look a bit closer. They're now designed in a winglet style right along the belt line, which is a cool minimalist touch that we first saw on the concept Skytop and the Vision Neue Klasse X. And yet they still decided to go with the flush pop-out door handles for the X3, which is the production version of the Vision Neue Klasse X, which is a weird choice. However, this X7 prototype and the prototype for the upcoming X5 are showing in the latest spy photos the winglet style that we've just seen. And perhaps this will be like a differentiating element between the higher end models compared to the more compact ones. We'll have to see. From this view, we can see the placeholder taillight units for now, which look honestly quite flat and basic, and cleverly hiding a much more interesting LED design. But given how the camouflage is interrupted at the tailgate with this straight horizontal line, there's been speculation for two different rumors. The first one, that they're going to introduce a taillight bar design, and the second one, that BMW is going to be keeping the split opening rear hatch, which has been a fan favorite among current X7 and X5 owners. So we'll have to see with that one. And yes, those quad pipes confirm that this prototype means business. You can tell it's no base model by the M Performance typical exhaust tips and also the massive wheels here, probably 22 inches. BMW has confirmed that there won't be a full-blown X7M, just like there hasn't been with the previous generation and neither with the 7 Series. So this M70 variant will serve as the top-of-the-line combustion version, much like today's M60i, but with much more refinement and more power. And if you're wondering why they're dropping the I, this is just a nomenclature change that they're implementing across all of their lineup since 2024. Under the hood is where BMW is keeping things exciting and sticking to their sporty roots. The M70 version will almost certainly carry the familiar S68 twin-turbo 4.4-liter V8 paired with a mild hybrid system for improved response and efficiency. The current M60i produces 523 horsepower, but we might see a small bump with this M70 version. Below that, BMW plans to continue offering 6-cylinder variants, such as the X7 40i for certain markets and the X7 40D for diesel enthusiasts. However, due to tightening emission rules, it's still unclear if Europe will get the full-fledged V8 version at all. So, while the US market will keep the 8-cylinder brute version, some regions may need to settle for the straight-six refinement instead. And in case you're wondering, there will in fact be an iX7 version later on. Similarly to the combustion variant, this electric one will continue riding on the CLAR platform. Despite sharing familiar underpinnings with the combustion X7, the first ever iX7 will feature Generation 6 batteries, just like on the newly presented iX3 from the Neue Klasse, with an 800-volt architecture and fast charging up to 400 kilowatts. That's going to be an interesting one, as rumors point towards an M70 electric variant with over 800 horsepower. Stay tuned for more updates on that one. But the biggest change for the new X7 might actually be in the inside. BMW is phasing out the iDrive 8.5 system and moving towards the next generation iDrive 10, which we've just seen on the new iX3. That means no more dual floating screens and, of course, no more rotary iDrive knob. So rest in peace. Instead, the centerpiece will now be the 17.9-inch slanted display supported by BMW's new Panoramic Vision. As we have seen on the new iX3, this projection system stretches across the lower edge of the windshield with fixed tiles in front of the driver and customizable ones extending towards the passenger side. And if this doesn't sound cool enough, BMW is rumored to be introducing an all-new 3D heads-up display, which is expected to first appear on the higher-end models like the new X7 and 7 Series. With this new interior, the focus here is on a much more immersive, simplified environment with fewer buttons and much more visual clarity. It's minimalism with purpose. BMW wants the tech to blend into the background rather than overwhelm it. Now, let's take the wraps of this prototype. So here it is. This is your first look at the next generation X7. These are the renderings that we've made based on the recent spy shots and all of the rumors surrounding it. Stylistically, this new X7 is more like an evolution rather than a revolution of the previous generation. And that's probably the right move, given that the brand is going to chisel that Neue Klasse face into most of their upcoming models. This one, however, retains that bold character shared with the 7 Series that make them stand out as the flagships in the BMW catalog. The overall shape remains upright and imposing, but the surfacing here feels much smoother and more mature than the previous generation. Those sharp body creases we've seen on recent BMWs are giving way to these cleaner, monolithic lines, aligning, of course, with the Neue Klasse aesthetic. As you can see here on this rendering, we've implemented the squarish design kidneys that we saw on the prototype with the iconic low LED surrounding them, as well as a large trapezoidal design air intake down here below, and of course the split headlight design, but now in a much more aggressive way, falling in line with that duality theme that we've seen on current BMWs with the slanted vertical headlights. Looking here at the side view, you can see how much smoother the surface looks compared to the previous generation full of creases and horizontal lines, with the inclusion of the new squarish wheel arches that we've seen on recent models like the iX and the iX3, and of course the winglet-style door handles that we've seen on the prototypes, as well as large blacked-out rocker panel, which of course serves as a purpose of making the car look much taller than it really is. At the rear, we can expect a slimmer interpretation of the Neue Klasse taillight, which is of course a callback to generations and generations of the typical L-design taillight. This way, making it much slimmer, emphasizes the width of the hips, which in addition to the bulging fenders looks really dramatic. If you're wondering about the split tailgate, it still hasn't been confirmed officially. Judging by the look of the lower section, I'm not quite sure how it will operate, given that the opening button seems to be hiding down here as it is on the new iX3, rather than sitting right here where it used to be in the previous generation, which made all sense because of course you open this section first and then the other one opens in the downward direction. We'll have to wait to see further prototypes with thinner camouflage to find out. But one thing is for sure, the quad exhaust tips and the subtle diffuser detailing will set apart the M70 from not just the lesser trims, but also from the smaller X models, going for a more radical design like the recent X2 and X3 and even the upcoming X5, which we just rendered and you can check out on our website and our Instagram channel. And while BMW could have gone with a much wilder design with this one, judging by the clean and smooth surfaces that we've interpreted from the spy shots, it looks like they're refining the X7's formula, maintaining its presence without overstyling it. So when's it coming? Well, production for the X7 G67 generation is scheduled to start in August 2027 at BMW's Spartanburg plant in South Carolina, home of all BMW X models. That means we'll likely see its debut as a 2028 model year in the US. There's also been confirmation that BMW's Alpina division will launch its own take on the X7 under the codename G69, including both gas and electric versions. Alpina's iX7 100, they're going from 70 to 100 with this one, will be the absolute flagship of the X7 range, boasting close to 900 horsepower. So stay tuned as we'll be covering much more on that beast. So what can we take away from all this? The next generation X7 sticks to what it makes it special: power, comfort, and presence, while taking a noticeable leap forward in technology. The M70 xDrive looks to be the perfect balance between the luxury cruiser and the performance SUV, carrying over the V8 heart that we love as enthusiasts. So, what did you guys think? Will BMW's new X7 generation strike balance right between modernity and tradition, while the brand rolls out all of its upcoming Neue Klasse models in parallel? Let us know in the comments section, and as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more stories on future BMWs right here on BMW Blog. As always, thank you very much for watching and see you guys in the next one.